My dad was so worried I would never settle down that he got his old war buddy's granddaughter drunk. After everything happened, he used that debt to pressure her into marrying me. But on our wedding night, I found out that Rachel already had someone she loved. 30 years of marriage, and I never once felt like a real husband to her. I died alone and miserable, and Rachel immediately moved to the capital to start a life with her true love. Now that I have been given a second chance, I am done letting Rachel drag me down. I filed for a forced divorce at the Civil Affairs office, and in 1 month I will finally be free. I came home, cleared out the closet, and had just finished cooking. When Rachel walked in, she was tall and slender, stunning features, and never looked sharper than when she wore her uniform. Before we got married, she was the dream girl of every guy in the garrison, and in my past life, I fell for her the moment I saw her. To keep things normal, I stepped forward to help her take off her jacket, but Rachel took a step back, her expression blank. "I got dust on me, do not dirty your hands." Polite enough that you could not pick it apart, but cold and distant all the same. Like we had not been married for 3 years. In the old days, I would have pretended not to hear it, and reached out to help with her collar anyway, and Rachel would not have stopped me. But behind those calm, careful eyes, there would always be a flicker of cold disgust. That look had stabbed me deep for 30 years, leaving wounds that never healed. But this time I just nodded, pulled my hand back, and turned to bring the food out from the kitchen. "I made your favorite scrambled eggs, come try them and see if they are any good." Rachel set down her jacket completely unbothered. "I told you I eat at the mess hall every evening. You do not need to cook for me, it was the same in my past life." In 30 years, she never ate a single bite of anything I made. I was quiet for a moment, then spoke calmly but firmly. "I really want you to try it. Just one bite, is that okay? Because this is the first time, and the last time I want to give this a proper ending." When I finished saying that, I watched Rachel's hand at her side suddenly clench into a fist. But she said fine. I am following orders, hearing that my chest clenched hard. Rachel was the regimental commander of the 1st Regiment in the Northern Garrison, and I was in a civilian role. But I outranked her, so in my past life, every time I asked Rachel to do something, she would say following orders, making it crystal clear that she only did it because she had no choice, not because she cared. Rachel walked past me without any expression. She sat down at the table and a faint scent drifted from her and hit me. I stopped and the words just came out before I could think. "You went to see Lily again today. Nobody knew better than me." That scent was from the soap that Rachel's childhood sweetheart Lily used every single day. Rachel's calm expression shifted instantly and her voice dropped to ice. "You had someone follow me, looking at those sharp, cold eyes." A wave of quiet sadness hit me, and the words I had ready just would not come out. I let the silence sit for a moment, then said flatly, "It has been a long day. Just get some sleep," and with that I walked toward the bedroom. Rachel followed me in, which I did not expect, and I looked at her confused. "You," Rachel had a trace of mockery in her eyes. "Today is the 15th. Are you telling me to go to sleep early?" I suddenly remembered. In my past life, Rachel refused to be a real wife to me, so I had no choice but to make it an order, and locked it in. As the 15th of every month, I clenched my hands behind my back. "That will not be necessary anymore." I pushed Rachel back. She stood at the edge of the bed and gave me a hard look. "You better not be playing games with me." She dropped that line, then turned and walked out. She went into the other room and shut the door. Ever since we got married, Rachel had set up a bed in the study and lived separately from me in my past life. I walked into her room one night, and after that she started locking the door, listening to the click of the lock. I let out a bitter smile. "Relax, Rachel. I am done embarrassing myself." I turned off the light, rolled over and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, I was busy at the garrison all morning. At noon, a messenger came to find me and said my father had arrived. I went to the office and pushed the door open, only to find Rachel already standing inside. "Dad did not even look up. Sit down. How have you two been lately?" I glanced over at Rachel. Out of habit, I kept things positive. "We are doing just fine." But then, Dad suddenly looked up and fixed a deep searching gaze on Rachel. "I hear Rachel has been visiting a military doctor at the infirmary pretty regularly lately. Is that true?" Rachel's eyes sharpened. Her hand at her side tightened and a heavy silence fell over the room. Rachel lowered her eyes and was about to speak when she heard me say with a smile, "That was my idea." Rachel stopped and looked at me with surprise. I kept my expression calm. That Dr. Lily lost both her parents. Never married and is out there on her own. It is not easy. So I asked Rachel to drop some things off on my behalf. I did not think it through. I had no idea it would end up causing this kind of gossip. Dad was quiet for a moment. Hard to tell whether he bought it or not. He made a sound and set down his pen. "Let us grab some lunch, come on to the mess hall." Rachel gave me a long look, but I did not meet her eyes. I just did not want anything to blow up before the divorce, before I had talked things through with Dad. Whatever happened between me and Rachel, it should not touch my father's reputation. We ate lunch in silence, and after that, all three of us went back to our own business. That evening, unlike before, I did not go looking for Rachel. I clocked out alone, came home and started clearing out more stuff. Standing in the living room, my eyes landed on 2 ceramic figurines sitting on top of the TV console, one boy and one girl. Something about it made me drift. I remembered buying those right after Rachel and I got married. I remembered bringing them home and showing them off to her like I had found something special, only to get met with total disdain. "Those are just cheap little kids' toys. Why would you even buy something like that?" But after Lily came back, Rachel went out and bought an identical pair and gave them to Lily herself. I swallowed the bitterness and tossed the figurines into a canvas bag. Then kept throwing in other things that did not matter and went through every corner of the place. When I lifted the bag, it barely weighed anything, and I suddenly realized that after 3 years of marriage, Rachel and I had almost nothing that was truly ours together. I walked out to the yard, tossed the whole bag into the trash truck, and was just turning to head back inside when I heard a car engine cut off outside, followed by a familiar voice. Then suddenly Rachel's cool, clear voice rang out. "I swear on my life, I will never fall in love with him, and if I ever do, then I deserve the worst." The blood drained from my face in an instant, but I just stood there quietly. Because in my past life, I had seen with my own eyes how Rachel catered to Lily in every single way. When Lily was sad, Rachel would speak softly to comfort her. When Lily was upset, Rachel would patiently coax her with a smile. When Lily ran a fever, Rachel would stay up all night to take care of her. So after getting a second chance, nobody understood better than me that, if not for me, Rachel and Lily would have been a love story worth telling. 2 people perfectly matched, growing old together. This time around, I was not going to be the one standing in the way. I turned and sat down at the table, poured myself a glass of liquor, and not long after Rachel came back too. She did not even glance at the glass in front of me, just said flatly, "Since when did you start eavesdropping?" I was caught off guard, but I did not take the bait. I just took a sip. I gave a small smile. Why go that far with an oath? Rachel's face stayed blank. Only swearing a curse proves I will never love you. That is the only way to make it real, even though I had already made my decision to let go. Hearing those words still hit me like a knife driven straight into my chest, and my throat burned with something bitter. I gripped the glass for a long moment, then raised it and drained it in one go before I finally spoke. Good. Then once the divorce paperwork goes through, once I leave, Rachel will not have to feel a thing. Rachel furrowed her brow, feeling like something was off about me, but she did not think too hard about it and turned toward the bedroom, then stopped dead when she spotted the sky blue shirt sitting in the trash can. Was that not your favorite shirt? I had not expected Rachel to remember that. I looked at her steadily, my expression giving nothing away. I just tossed it out. I do not like it anymore. Rachel did not push it and walked into the room. I turned and headed back to my own room, and sometime later, rain began to fall outside, and with the sound of it, I drifted off quickly. Then a massive crack of thunder lit up the sky. I jolted straight up out of bed, both hands clutching the front of my shirt. Breathing hard when I was 10, my mother died in a car accident on a stormy night, just like this one. Ever since then, thunder terrified me, and it would jolt me awake even in my sleep. After we got married, every time thunder rolled, I would go find Rachel. But that door never once opened for me. The thunder kept going one crack after another. It was not until half an hour later, when it finally faded, that I managed to steady myself.